All right. Welcome to the show, folks. Hey, if you don't know me, where you been at? No, I'm just kidding. I'm Mike Ashtabrenner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And you are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN RVA 106.1 FM. Oh my goodness, folks. You know I'm already excited, but today it's a next level of excitement. We're going to talk about beyond billion-dollar results with the one and only Subir Chowdhury. All right, talk about clarity, culture, and competitive advantage. Listen, when your client list reads like the Fortune 500 and your work has generated billions with a B, folks, in value, I think you've earned the right personally to be called one of the top management thinkers in the world. And our guest today, Sabir, has done just that. We're talking about transforming quality culture and advising companies like GM, Caterpillar, Hyundai, all right, on service excellence. His impact, folks, spans industries, continents, boardrooms at the highest level. His insights have helped leaders create lasting change, not just temporary wins. And in true Hounds fashion, all right, he's got a his heart is as big as his intellect, y'all. So buckle up, get ready. He's already got me excited, and I can't wait to share it. Be right back.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness, just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right, folks, I'm not going to bug this man about crawfish and singing on a Friday night. He's done it all. He's been there. He loves people. And let's bring him on, the one and only Subir Chowdhury. No soundboard. You just get this. Yay. Good to see you, Sabir. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you, Mike? Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm deeply honored. You have a fantastic reputation of all of your podcast and everything. So I'm very, very honored to be here.
Hey, likewise, my friend. You are a good man, and I got to give a shout out to Jesse and Jake for making this connection. Super guys with a super company. So let's go ahead and start. The Hounds are rolling in, and the folks on the radio are listening intently. So let's just split it wide open. Today, Sabir, you're known as one of the world's top management thinkers, as I said, right? Number one quality guru, so to speak. But I'd love to start with a story. This one got me fired up. How did your journey begin? Before it led you to work, to the leadership and quality work that you're known for today?
So I came in America in 1991 to do my master's degree in Michigan. And when I came in the country for the first time, that, I was shortage of $200 to even register for my class. So I went to a bank to get $200 loan, and they rejected me. Bank manager said, "Hey, do you have any collateral?" I said, "I just landed in America one day prior." So anyway, long story short, basically, I ultimately not only overcame that challenge or whatever, but later on, so that is the way it kind of started. And then after I finished my master's, I joined General Motors as an engineer, as a senior engineer. But within 6 months of working there, I've been come up with some very big ideas, right, on the automotive quality. Because my whole idea was why General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, American companies are not as good as in quality area, and what can I do on that? So ultimately from there, it ended up with I wrote my first book. It's called The QS 9000 Pioneers in 1996. And one of the things, what I've done at that time is basically a common quality standard for GM, Ford, and Chrysler to have a one common quality standard. It's called QS 9000. When my book came out, it became one of the best hit in the automotive quality world, right? And because of that, it kind of changed my life. Within at the age of 27, my first book came out, and instantly I became like an automotive quality guru and all this. And then after that, I wrote one after another book. I'm sure you know about the Power of Six Sigma, which is translated more than 25 languages, sold millions of copies. So that is also one of my books. So then I've written so far 15 books. But the foundationally, what is important, one of the message that what really changed my life, that what I'm looking back is, I don't think, my grandfather used to teach me between the number 0 and 9, what is most powerful? Between the number 0 and 9. So when I was a little kid, I used to say 9. And he said, no, 0 is more powerful. I said, why? He said, 0 on its own doesn't have any value. But as soon as you put a number, so in front of it, then it became more valuable. So he always told me that every single person, he said, always remember you are 0. You are nobody. But other people, that 1, when it becomes 10, that 1 or 2, those are other people. Those are the other people who makes you from 0 to somebody. So always remember, so everything I achieved in America is 100% credit belongs to the finest American men and women in all across life that who helped me, right? Even the lady who gave me that load of $200, right? That load. Wow. So every single person, and here I am. So always remember that I'm still 0. So even though you are very, very kind to give a fantastic introduction about me, but very honestly, I did nothing. I achieved nothing. Everything I've done is some other men and women made an impact in my life. And that made, so every one of the book I've written, somebody else behind it, right? They uplifted me. And so all the success like you talked about, I saved billions of dollars. No, my clients save billions of dollars. They work hard. I got lucky because they listened to my strategy. So if they didn't listen to my strategy, I could not have done it. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, because you hit the nail on the head. You are in the right room if there ever was one, Sabir. So that's it. Everybody here wants to make an impact, not just money, but they want to make an impact. They push each other up. Thank you for saying that, because you're right. I wouldn't be here. I'd just be a crazy man with a camo hat taking a walk if it wasn't for these amazing people and inside the community and friends of the Hound. And hey, you've wrote more books than I've read. So I might have to fix that. You what? How many? 15?
15, yeah.
15 books. My goodness. Yeah. So it took me about 3 years, but I'm getting through them, Sabir. But I'll tell you what, you told me this earlier. You said something backstage where you said, look, I just told stories. And then companies said, hey, can you help me implement those success stories, right? Something to those lines. Yes. That was very, very telling to me, my friend. So let me ask you real quick, before we get into the meat, I really want to know, I know the audience does. When was that aha moment when you realized this ain't just a job or a project? This is my calling. This is where I belong, and I'm going to put everything into it.
So I met with a gentleman his name is Dr. Genichi Taguchi. He's the kind of the Japanese quality guru, and he's the kind of the mastermind, is one of the quality engineering genius. When I first time met with him, honestly speaking, I read his theory and everything, and I thought he was he's like an Einstein type. So I thought he might be dead, right? I didn't know he was even an alive person. So when I found out that he's still living, I just convinced his secretary, can I take for 5 minutes to take a picture with him? And that 5-minute picture ended up with a 3-hour conversation. He loved some of my questions. And one of the profound questions he asked me was, I asked him the question about what is the definition of quality. So he told me, because he's the quality giant, and I was 26 years old. So I asked the question, what is the definition of quality? He said, quality means what customer does not want. And I was shocked. Does not want. He said, does not want. So I got shocked. He said, once you find that answer, what it means, then you ask the next question. So you think. So then I thought about it. And after 15 minutes, I said, okay, I found the answer. He said, okay, what is it? So I said, you said quality means what customer does not want. So that means it's as an engineer's job to make the quality right at the first time, anything they design, right? So we talk about quality when the failures happen. So he put in my brain, I said, oh my God, you are thinking completely out of the box. So
Right.
that was the aha moment for me, that saying that, okay, what can I do on implementing and learning quality? So I was very fortunate to learn quality, not only from him, some other quality gurus. And so by the time, and I was very fortunate because I was hungry for knowledge. So I got all this knowledge for free from all these giant of quality, because they are all 70 plus. So I kind of learned from them. And then that learning helped me enrich my life. And after practicing for quality process improvement and all this for last 25 years, now what I'm interested in more in how to impact of quality of life. That is even bigger issue,
Oh,
right? Because
huge.
what I've seen is that I met so many successful people around the world, right? A lot of them are Fortune 500 CEOs. But unfortunately, if you ask me the question, what percentage are leading a good quality of life? I'll say maybe less than 10%, right?
Truth.
So
Yeah.
then I was thinking, so they have everything. They have money, they have reputation, they have everything. But they are very empty life, right? They are very they don't have the fulfilled life. So, and that was the part where I felt that, how can I make an impact? And that is my latest work, what I was trying to achieve.
See, that's what I mean. You're not coming back just to do the same things, right? You'll do similar things, but your passion is in the helping the people and the culture and making all that actually work.
Yes,
Because you can lay out the roadmap, but if they ain't following it, the people, the company workers,
exactly, you're right.
it ain't getting done. You know that.
Exactly. Yes,
So, and your passion for people, because you built from dirt, right? That's what I always say, ground up,
yes, yes.
and you know how it takes. So, folks, this is the most down to earth stuff, and I've seen some amazing people in the comments. Thank you all so much. Let's hit the high points, because I want to highlight a few things that make you so impactful. Starting with the clarity and leadership, you talk a lot about clarity. Woo, so do I. It's in my framework, right? We're birds of a feather. But I'm going to learn. I'm going to take notes. Why is clarity the single most important competitive edge for leaders today, Sabir? Your experience.
Okay, the reason is that what I find is that there is a lot of leaders I work with. Some of them has a precise clarity on what they wanted to achieve, right? So, and everybody has a different definition of different types of clarity, right?
Right.
But I think what is important nowadays, what the social media did in humanity as a whole, we are living in a kind of a fake culture, fake world, right? So much of show off, right? So what happened is that humans authenticity is missing. Authenticity. So when I wake up, you are introducing me. Subir is the world's #1 quality guru. I feel I'm the dumbest guy. I'm still learning from quality. Very honest with
Right.
you. Because let me tell you, do you know what? If you ask me who is your #1 quality leader or leader you really admire, I will not say any business leader. Do you know whom I'll say? I'll say Mother Teresa. Now, I'm a Hindu. I'm not a Catholic. I'm a completely separate religion. Why am I still saying Mother Teresa is my quality guru or like my quality leader? Why? Because what she had done for humanity, right? The reason is that a lot of the time, what the leaders do, a lot of the time, I kind of believe that if you leader's job is to make an impact, positive impact of another human, positive impact on another human. When nobody is touching a human, that because that person is sick or they're a poorest of the poor, nobody's reaching them out. Mother gave them the shelter. Mother saved their life. And we call it as a mother, not as a Mother Teresa, not as a Christian mother, not as a Catholic nun mother. None. When she passed away, entire India cried, of all religion, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, everybody cried. Why? Because she is the mother of India, right? That is the key. So when it brings back to the regular leadership what I find in organization, a lot of the time they might be the CEO of a Fortune 500 companies, but they're not spending enough time to go and reach out to their worker level people. and putting their hand and say, thank you very much for making me successful. Thank you so much for making a difference for my company. And I mean it from my heart. Because the reason is that they don't do that because once we rise on the top and top and top, what happened as a human, we we kind of develop some kind of maybe an ego or some of that stuff, right? We develop
All right.
some of those. And you have to become a good leader. Mother Teresa, even after Nobel Prize, he did exactly the same thing. She exactly, doesn't matter. She
Doesn't matter.
Prize of God. She's still doing the same thing. He's a tiny little cot. She's still sleeping. So can I do what she did? Unfortunately, I don't think I'm capable of. So for me, when the people call me as the quality guru, I don't think I'm still learning quality. So I kind of feel that, and the other part is that you talk about clarity. A lot of the time, clarity comes with I always talk about the most important element of a human is that you have the self-respect. Self-respect.
Ah,
Problem is 99.9% of the so-called leaders, they may not practice self-respect. They are doing something to portray themselves so everybody look to them and say them as a hero or whatever. But they have a lot of emptiness inside of them. That is not authenticity. If you ask me a question, if I don't know the answer, I'll just say, like for an example, you have on the back of your thing, there's a house or whatever I can. So if you ask me, Subir, do you know what kind of those logs, what kind of tree that is? Suppose I don't know. I'll just say, Mike, I don't know. I'm not an expert on tree, so I don't know. So what the heck? So even if some people laugh at me, saying that you are that dumb, you don't even know what that log is made out of, so be it. Life is all about learning every single day. When I wake up every morning, I feel, when I look at my face in the mirror, I look at myself and I feel, I don't know anything yet. What can I do? What is the new one thing I can learn? Even if the rest of the world thinks I'm the dumb, so be it. I don't care. But I'm very genuine. I'm very authentic. And that's what, but unfortunately, social media era, we are in a competition to show off how great we are.
well,
Right?
but here's the good news, folks. Y'all, the Hounds here are losing it. They're losing it because now y'all don't hear it just from me. You hear it from this guy who's been around for a long time in the top levels and never forgot who he is, the passion and the purpose behind it all. And everything you're saying is why we created this community, my friend. Oh, and Kevin Smith, yes, don't even ask. I will make the intro to you. He started Kindness Worldwide. Very, very successful financial CEO. And we're around good company, Sabir. So before I get into it, because I want to tackle the framework. You have your own framework, and I want to make sure people get this. And folks, if you're on the radio, if you're live, do not forget to join us on YouTube or LinkedIn tomorrow, Wednesday, okay? August 27th. We're going to be live with Sabir. More relaxed. We're going to have audience participation, interaction, questions. We're going to be able to take our time and really get to know folks and really get to deep dive into Sabir. So mark your calendars for that. And shout out to Mike King Biz Radio. Mike King is so popular, Sabir. He is so loved by his community for the principles that you just talked about, pushing everybody up, getting visibility where there was none. And they put him on the Jumbotron during the ball games in Virginia. It's amazing. So Mike King, thank you for our partnership. To have guests on like this, right? To work together, to have Sabir on, that can help companies from the inside out. He's talking about clarity, purpose, how to do it internally, then do it externally, right? I love this. This is 1000 real talk. And so Mike King, thank you, folks. If you're out there trying to figure out where to go, if you want to learn more, go to Hounds of Business on YouTube. You can go to LinkedIn, Redneck One, Mike Asherbranner, or you can send me an old school carrier pigeon. Weather pending, I get those. All right. So we are tuned in with the one and only Subir Chowdhury, and he is an absolute legend. And now we're learning that he's got a giant heart for people, and man, he's the combo. So with the total package here, you introduced your ST.A.R, right? ST.A.R philosophy in your best-selling book, The Difference. If you don't mind, explain to our listeners, what is ST.A.R and why is it critical?
So before I explain that, let me give you a little bit of the background. I talk about quality is the combination of people power and the process power. So by using the processes, like different process, Six Sigma process or Leo process, different processes, you can say literally, make those processes right, fix those broken processes or new innovative processes that you can create, and that literally save billions of dollars. Now what happened is, after doing it for 20 years, what I find, suppose somebody is hired, both two companies, same size, Ford and GM, both of them hired me, for an example, as a consultant. And both of them, I'm working with both of them for the sake of discussion. Both of them. One company is getting, and both of them using my process. One company is getting 100x return, another company is getting only 10x return. So initially, what I thought, maybe my processes are flawed, right? And so then what my colleagues said, no, let us study those organizations. So after doing a 5 years of a study in all types of organization, what I find, the company which is getting the 10x return, they don't have, majority of the people, their work culture, their corporate culture is not a good culture. The one which is getting 10x return, the one which is getting 100x return, they have a fantastic culture. And after that, starting that culture. So what is the culture? Culture is basically people's behavior. Right. So that culture, that 100x companies which are getting the 100x return. So I kind of studied that culture, and to find out, ultimately I boiled down to, and I call it as a caring mindset. So if anybody, any size of organization is a CEO, if they that caring mindset culture from worker level, from the janitor to all the way to the CEO, that culture. Now, anybody can do it. So for an example, so I talk about the ST.A.R philosophy. So I introduced in my difference book. It's called, the book is called The Difference. So in the difference book, I talked about the ST.A.R philosophy, which stands for S for straightforward, T for thoughtful, A for accountable, and R for resolve. Now, the beauty about these four elements, anybody at any position can practice those four principles. So really? What is a straightforward? So what is a straightforward? A straightforward, foundationally, a straightforward means being honest to yourself. Being honest. Because if you're not being honest to yourself, you will not be being honest to others. Simple as that. It's absolutely simple. Now, when I say being honest, I'm not saying that being honest when you go to the office. I'm talking about being honest at all times, including with your family, including with your neighbors, including with others. Just practicing be honest. Now, when you become honest, what happened? A lot of the time, like, let me tell you, Mike, in my career, I was, in fact, thrown out of the corporate of clients. Do you know why? Because I told them the truth they don't want to hear.
Oh, you just hit
they escorted me out. But guess what? 2 years later, they invited me back, saying that, okay, come on in. Can you please help us? I told one time in one of the keynote addresses, I told one Fortune 500 companies, even God cannot stop your bankruptcy. I can see it so crystal clear. And they stopped my keynote address, throw me out of the office. And 10 years later of that talk, when they declared bankruptcy, their CEO called me and said, Subir, I was the vice president at that time. What you saw 10 years ago, we could not see. Can you now help us out? Right? So that's what I'm talking about, the honesty, that being honest is, and I don't need to talk about how to become an honest. All of us are adult. You figure it out what the honest and dishonest, any human knows, right? It's much more like a eat or don't eat, right? It's like that. So you know when you're faking. You know when you're not honest, you are dishonest. So that is the straightforward. The next one is called the being thoughtful. So what is the thoughtful? Thoughtful means to care for somebody else. Any human, other human, except your own self. Whole Mother Teresa principle, right? Being thoughtful. So you become a good leader. Doesn't matter in the organization, because every human are different. They have different problems. They have different challenges of their family members, this, that, all kind of stuff. Try to become thoughtful. That's it. Very hard to practice, extremely hard to practice. So even if you ask me that, Subir, you yourself, because you created this, so ST.A.R, every one of those attributes, what's your own score? 10 is the highest and 0 is the lowest. Do you think that I will tell you all of my score is 10? Answer is no. No, it cannot be. It cannot be, right? So someday in one I might be 8, someday in another area I might be 2, because I also have an anger issue. I have some other human attributes, bad attributes I may have, and sometimes that happen. So But so sometimes, can I be 100% of the time I'm thoughtful? Answer is no. Then I'm not a robot, right? So sometimes I screw up, but I screw up from that lesson. I learn from that screw up. I apologize to that person, right? If I hurt somebody, if I'm rude with my secretary because I have some other shit going on in my life, right? I go to my secretary and say, do you know what, Jody? I did a mistake. I'm so sorry. My behavior is not acceptable. I sincerely apologize. That's it. That is right. That's what I tell her, right? So that is the thoughtful. So thoughtful means you care for another person. So even if you're running a 10 people organization, or if you're running a 20,000 or 100,000 employee organization, show your thoughtfulness. Then you become a good leader. Then the third thing attributes is called that accountable. A lot of the time we do thousands of different projects, but our attitude is, if when the problem happen, it's like literally point fingering.
Right.
Like this, right? It's not my problem. Oh, it's not my problem. Everything is good, right? So when any major, I always talk about any problem of any organization happen, 100% accountability belongs to the CEO. Doesn't matter what it is.
I believe.
And CEO should say, I screwed up. But unfortunately, majority of the CEOs, they blame others. They don't blame themselves. Hey, why the hell you are the CEO?
Right.
Right? You earned the position. So anything happen in the organization, if bad things happen, you are responsible. Doesn't matter. Because your leadership screwed it up. So figure it out. But so I push my CEO clients to tell straight to their leaders, I screwed up. As soon as the CEO does it, guess what happened? All the leaders said, sir, you didn't screw up. I screwed up. Then the next level said, no, they screwed up. Problem is that we normally, as a human, we show our ego and we never say we are screwed up, right? So a lot of the time what I find, the accountability becomes other people's issue, not their own issue. If you can take that accountability, right? In anything you do.
Absolutely.
Anything you do. So
I'm loving this.
For example, like sometimes I'm a father of 2 children. Sometimes, some days, I might be, when I was raising my children, that even on their teenage years, I may not be, I was very tough on certain things, right?
Right.
But I make them accountable of doing certain things, right? So, but the thing is that type of relationship, that type of expanding, like practicing these values, even your daily life at your own home is critically important, because we are, as a human, it's not like a switch on and off. I'll be one character at home,
Right.
I'll be
Thank
another
you.
character at office. No,
Thank
it doesn't
you.
work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. And folks, I did not tell him to say this unless you're right. Hey, this makes me excited. And real quick, we got a minute left, Sabir, because don't forget, go to the Wednesday show, folks. We're going to hash it out. What's R stand for, real quick, brother?
Resolve. So you need to have the resolve, right? You need to have the resolve of whatever you do, right? That's it. So those are the 4 elements. Anybody at any position, at any position, at any types of organization can practice these 4 principles, and they don't need, they don't need some extra strategy session. None of that.
Right.
It's basically that mindset. It is the mindset.
Well, I'm going to close this out with one question, and about 30 seconds worth. But before we do, folks, if you guys are interested online, if you're live, if you're in the radio, if you're listening on the air, how you can work with Sabir one-on-one, go to the link here. It's ST.A.R, ST.A.R, leadercollective.com/excellence. StarLeaderCollective.com/excellence. Go to our YouTube channel, pull the link, we'll put it right there, and have a call, right? High level teammates with Sabirs. These people will get you on track, all right? Have that discovery call. Absolutely change your life from the inside out. We're talking about processes plus people, 2 halves of the circle. So close this out real quick in 30 seconds. If you could leave your audience with one action step, something they could do right away after they watch this and fired up for their culture, clarity, and confidence, what would it be?
That would be every single day you think about your own self, that how can I develop my own self-respect? And I wanted to make sure, and my own life starts with, what can I learn something today new? Because life is a learning journey. You don't have an answer. Always think about you don't know nothing. If you can teach yourself you don't know nothing, you wanted to learn something, life would be good. Always. You think, doesn't matter how much you accomplished in life. There's so many things. Like if you ask me, Mike, right now, how many types of gray, like how many types of shades of your green on the background you had, I cannot tell you that.
Right.
Can I say you name of every single shade of green on your screen? I can't. So I don't know. So life is all about teach yourself you don't know enough. If you can have that mindset and then it makes you humble, then you'll develop more self-respect, then you can change the world.
Hey, you said it. Look, you're talking to me, right? Like, I mean, courage for confidence. I just absolutely, folks, if this didn't fire you up, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what will, or maybe later. So go to starleadercollective.com/excellence. Sabir, cannot wait to have you on. We're probably going to go 4 hours tomorrow, y'all. So grab a Snickers, grab a lunch. I can't wait. I'll talk to you forever. Folks, plug into this and go to the website. Thank you all for tuning in. Cannot wait to see you all tomorrow. Sabir, you are an excellent human being as well as a business leader, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure, folks. Hey, Steve Spiro, okay? Another guy, very similar. He is a master connector, and he does speaking gigs all the time. All right, so tune in next week. Sabir, we will see you tomorrow, my friend. Thank you all for tuning in. Catch you on the next one. Mike King, you're the man. Love this partnership, brother. Make an impact together. Sabir, see you tomorrow, brother.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.